Of late, there has been a surge of attacks on women in different cities in Nigeria. Today on the show, we are beaming our spotlight on the city of Abuja. You're watching Root Cause on Roots TV Nigeria. My name is Gloria Oji Emodi. We took some time to speak to different women and we're quite surprised at our findings. In 2016, a UN Human Rights Council report said nearly 30% of women in Nigeria have experienced some form of physical violence. Sexual violence is most prevalent, with 1 in 4 females going through such a trauma in childhood, with approximately 70% reporting more than one incident of sexual violence. However, other forms of violence against women are becoming rampant as more and more women are reporting cases of physical violence by strangers. Most notable are robberies and abductions. Meet Miriam, a young hardworking woman who had the most traumatic experience here in the city of Abuja.
I was recently attacked by some hoodlums on the 1st of November 2018. That very night, because it happened at about 6:30 in the evening, I decided to take along just to save some money, to be able to have some money that would also take me home. So I decided to go to the junction at Sci-Tech, precisely along Gwarimpa Expressway. At that very junction, I saw a vehicle coming and then I flagged the vehicle down. It had about 4 persons, inclusive the driver, in the car, and just one lady. The rest are men, 3 guys and just 1 girl. So I entered. I actually sensed something fishy. I really was very uncomfortable that very moment. So I tried using my hand to open the door, just to escape, because already I was uncomfortable. So I think the driver noticed that, and then immediately he locked the car using child's lock. And you know what it means to, lock a car with child's lock. So immediately they did that. The guy turned, the one at the front seat, turned and faced me. Then he said to me, "Sister, you have entered the wrong vehicle." I couldn't believe what was happening to me, because to me I thought it was a dream. The girl in the vehicle happened to be a victim as well. Before I got in, they were done robbing. They had already collected her valuables and they pushed her out. Immediately I entered, they pushed her out. As we're driving, they pushed her out. And at that very moment, I knew I was in for this. I started crying and begging just to leave. And then 2 of the guys faced me while the driver was still driving. And he started beating me. He started hitting me and telling me that this is my last time, this is my last day on earth, because they kill. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to die that very moment.
Miriam's case is not an isolated incident. In fact, a chat with a cross-section of women revealed a more disturbing truth.
Abuja actually is a little bit safe than most places actually. You can't compare it to Lagos, definitely, but still we have a lot of issues, like when it comes to robbery we do, and I feel because the robbers feel we are ladies, they can easily oppress us more than they can with men.
How safe it is for women in Abuja has definitely reduced, because there have been an influx of a lot of touts, in Abuja. So there's been a high rate of robbery, especially for young girls that take transport. I've been an encounter once that, and it happened in such a way that the person was entering as a passenger and kind of distracted us, but then grabbed my phone and ran away. So with that, it makes you tense when you want to take a cab, because you're not sure of your safety. And there's a whole lot of stories from my friends who have been robbed in cars, like some people almost more than once. They've been robbed of their personal items and everything. So you're really tensed.
But once it gets dark, and then the dark corners, once you just probably you're trying to enter a car and you're in transit, it's always very dangerous, especially when you're coming back from work.
I think my advice is, if before entering a vehicle, you should look very, very well. Study the passengers in there, because I was actually a victim. I was robbed one chance.
I believe, of course, like you said, it is the responsibility of government to make sure women are safe. So it is very important that they make the media always tell people the things that they need to do, security measures that need to be taken.
And I was going to suggest that to more street lights, because most of these robbery and all these incidents happen where maybe the environment is dark, pretty dark. So more street lights.
Security is largely your personal responsibility, not necessarily the government's responsibility. If you keep waiting for the government to do everything for you, they will not end up doing anything for you. So it's your responsibility to be careful, be watchful, be vigilant, go home early as you can.
The increasing incidence of violence against women has given rise to several organizations working to protect women. However, there is need for increased protection of women as they are more vulnerable to these attacks.
Well, women getting abducted in Abuja has been common occurrence over the years. I am a victim, but then the question is, who has been doing it? Now we found out that there are different groups of people that have been doing it. There are state-sponsored abductions, and then there are also abductions by other hoodlums that are taking advantage. And then one of the very notable ones are the ones about the abductions in taxis. The one chance, they're called one chance. Now, the thing is, the government owes it to the people to protect the lives and property of the people. The police is vested with that responsibility. And for Abuja, where I live, for instance, in the past administration, there were CCTV cameras that were supposedly installed. Now, the question is, where are these CCTV cameras? What has become of them? Then a lot of people do not know the provisions of the laws. In Abuja, we have the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, and there are certain provisions of the law as regards acts of coercion, as regards acts of rape. A lot of these incidences of abductions end up with rapes. A lot of people feel dirty afterwards, especially when they are re-traumatized by the police and passers-by or standers-by, and so they go and take a bath. They don't report the incidences right. They don't go for medicals. They don't do anything. Now, should any of these things happen, if there's a rape incident that happened for any reason, first things first, go and report it as rape. Luckily, we have the goodwill of the police hospital, and the police hospital, has. They partner with us. They help to get at least the basic baseline for people who come to report such incidences, and then we can now take it off from there. There are NGOs like our organization that are willing to support victims of this to ensure at least basic documentation happens of whatever happened to them, and then we keep until you engage the police enough. The police is not going to be committed to doing the work the police is supposed to do around this. Now, the FCT administration, what is the FCT administration doing? My dear sisters, I'm of the opinion that you should get a pepper spray. I'm of the opinion that you should think security, you should think conscious. Be careful, don't be scared to look into the boots of taxis before you get in, and then should anything happen, like I said, insist police makes a report, insist police incidents the report, insist that your statement is taken down, so that at least we can track the trend. We can tell for real how many people this thing is happening to. The more you keep quiet, the less it looks like it's happening. because there's no evidence of it happening apart from the few people who speak about it. So speak about it, speak about it, speak about it.
For women like Miriam who have had this terrifying experience, the scars remain.
It's not been easy for me because I'm really traumatized. That very night I couldn't sleep. It's just that whenever I close my eyes, I just see them attacking me. I just see myself about to die and all.
The trauma caused by these sorts of attacks is unimaginable. The scars are lingering. There is therefore need for security enforcement agencies to do more to look into ways to protect not just women, but everyone. Have you ever had this sort of attack, or you know someone who's experienced this? Please share this with us on our social media platforms so we can raise more awareness on this scourge. You've been watching Root Cause on Roots TV Nigeria. I am Gloria Oji Emode.